Hello friends, welcome to Reshma's Commerce World. Today we are going to discuss about overhead. Overhead is the aggregation or total amount of all indirect expenses like indirect material cost, indirect labor cost and indirect expense cost. So whatever the direct cost we can include we can't include on the overhead. So whatever the indirect, so it is very difficult to identify that type of cost also. So we can classify the overhead as three classification on the basis of three classification. The first one on the basis of function, on the basis of behavior, and last one on the basis of element. So first we have to discuss about the classification on the basis of function. So we know what are the functions happening on an organization. First production will happen, then next administration work, then next we have to sell the product. For the selling purpose we have to depend the distribution channels. So these four types are coming under on the basis of function. First, the production overhead. Production overhead means whatever the indirect cost comes under the production department. For example, indirect material, indirect wage, or insurance of plant, factory rent, like that. The next one is administration overhead. Same only, like whatever the indirect cost comes under the office work or administration work. So like for example, office salary. For the office employees we have to give the salary. For the office we may have to give the rent, then audit fees, then some stationery items we have to buy. This kind of expense comes under administration overhead. The next one is selling overhead. So whatever the indirect cost is comes for selling purpose. For the selling purpose we have to give the advertisement, or we have to give the commission or target money for the middleman or dealers. Then next one is distribution overhead. Distribution overhead is whatever the indirect cost is coming for the distribution channel. For the distribution channel some middleman or retailers or transportation will come. So for that purpose whatever the cost is incurring, that kind of cost is known as distribution overhead. So the next classification is on the basis of behavior. There are two classification, fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost is a cost which comes under regular basis or on the basis of regular. Monthly we have to pay a certain sum of money as fixed or by constant. In the case of rent, if we pay 10,000 for this month, next month also we have to pay 10,000. So some certain amount we have to pay as constantly. Then next one is variable cost. Variable cost may vary according to the period or according to the nature of product. Like for example, delivery charge. Delivery charge will vary depends on place or depends on each item. Sales commission also may change, that advertisement cost also may change according to the period. So whatever the varying cost is, or it will not be same for all month, it will change. That kind of cost is known as variable cost. Then last one is on the basis of element. On the basis of element there are three classification: indirect material, indirect labor and indirect expense. So indirect material is the material cost which incur as for the material which is not using for the production as directly, which is not using for the production as directly. Like for example, if we want to produce a product, we want the machine. So for the machine purpose or for the working of the machine we have to give some oil, grease, like that. Then if you are producing leather type of items like bag, purse or shoe, for that purpose leather is the direct material. Instead of that there are so many indirect materials are there, like thread, glue or needle, like that. So that kind of product is comes under indirect material. The next one is indirect labor. That means whoever the labor is not come for as directly for the production. Like for example, the supervisor. The supervisors are supervising the work of employees. They are not directly interact with the production department. Then salary for the cleaners, say security guard, or for the drivers. These all kind of labors are known as indirect labors. The last one is indirect expense. Indirect expense means whatever the expenses of the business which is connected indirectly to the production or to the product. So the expense other than the direct expense. So like that electricity expense, then depreciation of asset, then rent and rate for the business, then at the same time telephone charges. These type of expenses comes under indirect expense category. So for this on this video we have discussed about the meaning of overhead and classification of overhead. So I think or I hope that you could understood the portion. If you have any doubt, you can make any comments. Then if you have any suggestion about the video, or if you have any suggestion for the future videos, you can comment. Then if it is a helpful video for you, you just subscribe, share, like and comment. Thank you. Then please subscribe my channel and share with your friends also.